Welcome back to Dad and Daughters Collectibles. Today I want to do an opinion piece here on Topps 25-26 basketball. I am going to tell you what I am going to be looking for and buying in 25-26 basketball. I have some other people's analysis. I'm going to give them credit. I did some of my own analysis first, and then some other people did a much deeper dive. So I'm going to give them credit, and it sort of backs up what I was thinking of doing anyways. And I think what I'm going to present you is, if you're interested in this product, the couple of best paths to go down for retail specifically. So let's get into it. 25-26 Topps basketball. So Panini, as of October 1st, lost the license exclusively to Topps. Topps has both the player's license and the NBA license. So my understanding is that if Panini wants to make basketball at this point, they would have to use retired players only and take all the logos and stuff off, which, if you've seen basketball cards that are unlicensed, go back and look at anything Topps for the last couple years. Basketball cards are really difficult to produce unlicensed because so much of the jersey, like, look at this Cooper Flag card here. Imagine if the Dallas is taken off, take away the Mavericks, and it says Dallas. Just trust me, go look at some of them. They look much worse than baseball and even football, where if you think of a standard football jersey, it doesn't say Packers across the front or Bears. It's the number and some color, right? There's a logo on the helmet, which they Photoshop out, but if you get the certain angles, even those look okay. And there are certain teams where the helmet logo doesn't stand out so much, like the Browns is an easy one. But even something like the Steelers, where they have that black helmet, white stripe, and the Steelers logo is a white circle, but it's fairly small on the helmet. So you can make them look good, whereas basketball, much, much more difficult. So the big reason I'm excited for this for a couple of reasons. One, Cooper Flag is going to be a big rookie. So I did not collect when Wemby was a rookie, but he was a big chase. Cooper Flag's going to have a big draw. There are also some other good rookies that are comparable to last year's rookie class. I think you've got Harper and Bailey, the two kids from Rutgers, who have good pedigrees for the NBA. There are some other rookies who I don't know the rookie class super well, but there are some others as well. And then there's one that I'm going to PC that I just love. His name is Yang Hansen. So our last name is Hansen, Hansen, and his last name is also Hansen, Hansen. But if you know anything about Chinese culture, Hansen is actually his first name. So it's in China, it's Hansen Yang, right? But we reverse that in English for whatever reason. So it's Yang Hansen. He is 100% Chinese. I initially thought maybe he was like, Scandinavian, had maybe like a dad who was Scandinavian who married a woman from China while traveling the world. And it's not that. It's just Han and Sen are two words in China that are combined for his name. But since our last name is Hansen, I love the fact that I can collect this dude. I think it's funny to collect a Chinese player named Hansen. Most people in America would be expecting to see some sort of blonde Scandinavian 7 foot tall, and then that is not what you get. So he also just had an awesome game. In the third quarter of a preseason game, I think he scored 16 points. So like he is a legit player too. He's on the Trailblazers. So I'm going to be PCing him. I'm not going to be chasing him too hard, but certainly anything we open of his, we'll be keeping. And of course, if you happen to open anything of his and you want to trade for some of the things we have, I would love to do some trades to collect him as well. But really the big draw is there's a few things that are a big draw. One, Cooper Flag. To the return of Topps basketball, which they've not had licensed basketball in a very long time. And then I would say 3 and 4, although they're somewhat tied together, is you have the first licensed Victor Wembanyama autographs ever. And you have LeBron James autos as well, because he was assigned exclusively. I think he was with Upper Deck and then Top. So you have licensed LeBron autos for the first time in a very long time. I know he has some out there, but first in a very long time. Those are obviously very difficult to get, right? And it's not something you should expect, but it is out there as a chase, right? The big chase with any set is going to be rookies, and Cooper Flag being ahead of it is going to be that. In addition, the NBA has worldwide star power. So between Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Giannis, LeBron, Victor Wembanyama, a bunch of other players, those cards are all hold value, and they're going to continue to hold value. Their first tops cards in a long time with the licensings are going to initially be very high. I do think as more sets come out, they will go down. In addition, this set is going to be well printed. My guess is so there's Tops Holiday for basketball and Tops Flagship. I don't know if Tops has anything else planned before the holidays. So if that's all they have, you're going to be flooded with this stuff. And by all counts, looking at the odds, there's going to be a lot of this stuff out there. So anything you can sell, especially like if base Cooper Flag rookies are going for like $5 out the gate, I would probably dump those as quickly as you can because they're going to only drop as more and more of this comes out. Trying to think if there's anything else in here initially to kind of go over. Again, you can see some cool like base player number variations. There's all kings, some really cool inserts. All would love to get an all kings of somebody. I've never opened anything like that. You get MVP vaults. You're gonna have some veterans in here as well. But let's get into some of the odds and what I'm going to be chasing. So, if you've ever seen a Topps odds sheet, here is an example of one. Here's the basketball one. It's a lot to take in and it's a lot to decipher. I do not do super deep dives on this stuff because one, I don't have the time, and two, I've done enough data analysis in my life to know, look at kind of just do a scan and not just a scan, but spend 10, 15, or 20 minutes and go, okay, I think I can draw some conclusions from this based on the numbers. I may not know the exact odds. I could be off a little bit, but I rarely am just wildly off. So over here on the left, you have hobby. I'm not going to talk about that too much. I did manage to secure one jumbo and one hobby at the Topps pre-order price. Those have all jumped since then. If you're looking for hobby, I would hold off, I think, because I think it'll come down some. I think it's going to be hot right away and then it'll settle in. I could be wrong on that, especially once retail comes out, but who knows? So you've got your standard, you've got value boxes, you've got mega boxes, you've got fat packs, you've got hangers. Those are, you've got, let's see, fat packs, display box. I'm not sure what that is. Those are probably retail packs. Then you've got hangers, and then you've got these interesting ones on the end, which is where I'm going to spend most of my time. Black Friday Target Value Box, Costco Super Box, and Fanatics Value Box. I've looked at these two Reddit posts and they've done the deep dive. So I'm not going to take credit for it. I've done some of this ahead of time. So some of the conclusions they draw back up what I already knew. There are some new things that they did as well, but I don't want to take credit for it because I didn't do it. So Sell Dude on this Reddit post does a ton of analysis and talks through odds of various things. I would recommend reading through this post if you're interested in it. There is also this follow up from J Hap One where he kind of color codes it and says, "Hey, here's your best value on certain things." Let me bring that up and go back here. In general, your retail value and mega boxes are what that are pretty standard. Even fat packs and display boxes, they're fine. You generally know what you're going to get, just like anything else. You got a pretty low shot at any sort of numbered card. You're going to get a lot of base. You're going to get some higher print parallels, and then every once in a while you get a number card or an auto. They're probably going to be some of your lower end autos. Don't think there's a ton of reason to go into those. I'm going to talk about hangers, but let me start with the Black Friday Target Value Box and the Costco Super Box. Obviously, I don't know all the details on these, and there's some things I can surmise. Obviously, the Costco Super Box is going to be a Costco. It's probably going to show up sometime in November. The Black Friday Target Value Box, my guess is going to be released on Black Friday at Target. Again, fairly reasonable assumption there. Probably a doorbuster type thing where if you're going to want these, you're going to want to be there on Black Friday, depending on how many of them there are at your store. Maybe you can go on Saturday and Sunday or afterwards and still get them. If it's a hot product, they may just be gone. But what I want to talk about specifically, and I'll go a little bit more into the odds and to that chart, is the Costco Super Box and the Black Friday Target Box have their own sets of parallels. And if you know anything about baseball, so this is the Costco box has crackle boards in one out of every two, and then greens one out of one every 106 packs, and you're getting more than one pack, right? You're getting, I don't know how many are in there. Most of the value boxes at Costco are 10 to 15 packs. So between greens, golds, oranges, etc., it's its own set exclusive to the Costco super box, in addition to the fact that you can get the regular parallels. Here are the regular parallels across all of retail. So in this Costco super box, you can get the regular parallels that everybody's eligible for, and you can also get these crackleboard ones starting at green at 99, gold, orange, etc. The standard tops numbering is green to 99, gold to 50, orange to 25, black to 10, red to 5, platinum to 1. So you look at down this super box here over here on the right. You can see some of the odds of this stuff. Again, you have chance of some of these parallels in inserts as well. So again, looking at this, it's probably a pretty good value. If you look at like top celebration boxes or anything sort of exclusive, a printing of a set of flagship, a subset of flagship, have always been good in baseball, and I'm going to assume this is here, and that's what the analysis here shows, that the Costco Super Box is one of your lowest costs per parallel, and it's a good buy. So the Costco Super Box is going to be one that I'm targeting. I have a Costco membership. I don't know, again, I don't know how when this stuff ends up there. Here's, again, you have the oversized tops cards and the companion cards. Those come exclusively with the Super Box. So again, I don't know when those exactly are going to show up, and if these are super hot. If you've ever seen Pokemon get purchased videos from Costco, maybe some 45-year-old men will go in there and buy them all out. I don't know. Point being, they do look good. These have been traditionally priced around $35 to $45. I don't think they'll be 50, and I would recommend Costco Super Boxes if you have a Costco membership as one of your retail pickups. The second is going to be the Target Black Friday value box. Again, I'm going to go back up to the top here. Sorry for all the scrolling. You are eligible, and everything in here, again, slightly, you're going to have worse odds than your other products, but you have a chance at all of the regular parallels that come in retail. And in addition, you have this whole print run down here. Got to scroll through it. That are, I guess, shopping related. When you look at the names of them, they are. So here's a whole limited stock limited stock legends. So these are exclusive. That's an insert set. Scan and Slam is exclusive. Retail Rush is exclusive. Shopping Tree, again, store exclusive. Relic Surge, a bunch of exclusive stuff in these. In addition to these are the base parallels. So you've got Blackout, Surge, Flash Drop, Cartload, and Cyber Circuit. These are all, and Doorbuster. Doorbusters of 101s. These are, I think, to 5, 10, 25, and 50. So again, you have your own subset of all the base cards exclusive to Target, in addition to all of this other stuff as well. If you think of celebration boxes, very similar. You had the big head cards and the walk this way cards. Did you get them all the time? No, but those ended up being really good products, and I have to imagine this is also going to be a very good product for those reasons. I'm assuming, again, they will be around $50. So again, value here could change if these were $100 or $150, but I would hope, given everything else, that these would be around $50. If you look at this post here, the cost per parallel, the Fanatics value box is the best. And that is true. You get, I think, 13, see if he's got it on here. The Fanatics value box right here, 12.2 parallels per box, right? That's a lot for one value box, and the value box is going to be about $30, 25 to $30. The problem I have with that is, yes, cost per parallel is great, but I believe it's 6 packs in the value box, and of those 12, half of them are going to be one in particular. See if I can find it. But you get one of these specific parallels in every pack. So you're going to get a bunch of, in general, low value parallels. Here's the base Topps foil pattern. So you're going to get the Topps logo as a pattern, one in every box, or not every box, every pack. again, they're going to be low value parallels. So do you get a lot? Yes. Are they the most valuable and the ones you want? Not necessarily. There's nothing, as far as I can tell, exclusive, or at least to the same level of the Target uh, Black Friday or the Costco Super Box. There's nothing in here you can see that's just it's the far right column here scrolling down. There's nothing in here that's like exclusive to those that are super rare that are going to make you chase after them. So again, I don't. My personal opinion is I'm not going to go for those. If you are buying regular value boxes, absolutely you should just wait for the Fanatics value box when those go on sale and just get those anyways. But if you've got the ability to get to Target on a Black Friday or Costco, I would highly recommend picking those up instead. All right, then the last thing. So this was the first post I saw, and let me come back here. So one of the things I was going through was looking at again where are those exclusive sets, and right here you've got the Diamantes, the pink Diamantes, the gold, orange, black, and red. So no one of one Diamantes, but for everyone that collected baseball, the Diamantes were one of everybody's favorite parallels from Series 1 and Series 2. And again, second, you have exclusive in hangers are the Diamantes. So you cannot get these anywhere else. No other product has them. Um, Hangers only have two parallels per box. And specifically in this post, this guy says, hangers are most definitely not bangers and will provide the least overall value. Per parallel, I agree. He's done the analysis. There's not much I can argue with there. That's true. But you have an exclusive set. If you're going to get one Diamante per pack. Pinks are out of every 10, so that print run is already probably under 1,000 for the pinks. But then golds are one in every 57. Um, Oranges are one in every 114. Base blacks are one in 283. They're $13 each, right? So two of these is about the equivalent of a value box. So now suddenly, if you're going to buy a value box and instead replace that with two hangers, the 1 in 57, and it's not perfect, right? But approximately goes to 1 in 28. It's not bad. It's really not. And considering getting cards numbered to 50 or less in retail is pretty tough to do. A 1 in 28 shot at a parallel to 50 or less is pretty darn good. And in addition, if you could not get the gold, you could get the orange, you could get the black, right? You're not just limited to 50. You could go all the way down to 5 if you're lucky, right? So in addition to all that, you have the odds to hit all the regular base parallels here as well. There's one that's actually the wood parallel, if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it on this, but the wood parallel, I believe, is the best odds of getting it is actually out of a hanger. If I can, I don't know where I can find it. But I know I've seen it, and it was significantly better than the other formats. So while I believe that hangers you're not going to get a stack of parallels out of each hanger. 2024 baseball update, people love the hangers. And you would open 3 or 4 of those, and in 2 of them, you'd only get 2 parallels, right? But in the other 2, sometimes those things were just juiced and loaded. And I believe that is how this is going to work out this time. So again, if you're talking about $13 per hanger, which I know that's a valid price because Dick's Sporting Goods has them on pre-order for $13, would you rather have 10 hangers for $130 or 5 value boxes for $125? My personal opinion is I'd go ham on those hangers at $130 because of the fact that you can get all the same stuff at slightly worse odds, and you have this Diamante set that you can chase after as well. So those are my options for retail in 25, 26 basketball. Again, there's going to be a ton. The base is not going to be heavily collected. It is, but it's again, even the Cooper flags. If those start in the $5 to $10 range, which again, the first people to throw them on eBay will probably put buy it nows out there for $5 or $10 and get those prices. But that's all going to settle in once more and more of this stuff comes out. Even if he comes out gangbusters, right? There's going to be hundreds of thousands of these base copies out there, and it's all going to get watered down. Even graded copies, there's going to be thousands of copies of PSA 10 flag bases. It's just really getting into those low numbered cards, and that is where again, as collectors, if you want to get value out of the products, you got to be going for lower numbered stuff. Even stuff numbered to 299 is not. It's really when you hit that 50 and below is where you start to get real good value on those cards and real desirability. And again, this is that spreadsheet analysis. And see if I can zoom in. Um, if you look here, the hangers are this column here with this blue here, and you can see the red is worse odds than the others comparatively. And but these diamantes again for $741 to sort of, they say to guarantee, odds are never guaranteed, but $741 on average is going to get you one. I'm sorry. Oh no, that's the pink. Yeah, so it's going to get you diamante pink. So 741, yeah, is the, and I'm sorry, I can't. I was trying to zoom this in, but it's not doing it for me. Um, seven. This says 741. $741 is going to get you a gold on average, and that is lower significantly than anywhere else on the chart for a gold. Here, here it is 928 for a cold crackle board for the Costco Superbox. Um, and elsewhere here, gold's $1,400, $3,500, $2,900. So yes, you're spending a lot more to get that same gold here, 4,100 versus 2,900. But the fact that you have access to these diamantes changes it significantly. So that is where I think, even though you're going to get less in each hanger, hangers I think are going to be bangers for low numbered stuff, and I will be going after those exclusively, except for the Costco and the Target stuff. So am I going to buy a ton of this? Probably not. There's a bunch of stuff hitting at the same time, but I do like it. I'm going to give it a shot. I've got those hobby boxes coming, so those will be probably early November when I open those, and we will see how it goes. But hopefully that gives you some insight as to what you might want to target as well. There's no real wrong answer. All of this stuff has a chance to get anything, and somebody could hit a value box with you know, a Wemby auto that's worth $1,000. But it is about sort of giving yourself the best chance. And I think those products are going to be what I target for what I think are going to be some of the best chances. So let me know what you think of this. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, give us a like and subscribe. We got, again, we'll have basketball. We do basketball, WNBA, and NBA. Football when we can, although football we've just been finding very rough. And we will be, and we always do baseball as well. So if you like that kind of stuff, give us a like and subscribe. And remember, girls are collectors too.